morning everyone. I am currently about 20 minutes before sunrise and I am in the Main Range National Park in southeast Queensland's amazing Scenic Rim. We're just waiting for the sun come up. I'm currently on top of the Mount Cordeaux lookout, which I've been up here a number of times, but I thought I'd come up this morning because, as everyone is probably aware, we've had a lot of bushfires in Australia recently and this area was affected. It makes me particularly upset because I love getting out in this area. The Scenic Rim is amazing. Everyone should get out to the Scenic Rim, especially now things are starting to recover. There's been some good rainfall lately. The forest is starting to look green in places again. So just get out in the Scenic Rim, check out the towns nearby. Places like Boona and Arachula, even down to Warwick in the South Burnett. All this area, it needs our help, needs our support, and then things are starting to recover. But anyway, I'm hiking this morning. I have a spare morning, so I'm coming out for a hike. I wanted to catch sunrise. It's been a little while, and it is my favourite thing in the world. I've just had a bit going on lately, so I need to clear my head. So here I am. I didn't shoot much video on the way up at all, simply because it was too dark. I started hiking. I left the car at 4 o'clock, so pitch black. Really small waning crescent moon at the moment, 13.8% crescent moon, so not a lot of light, so there was just no point trying to film any b-roll. But here I am. I'm going to start setting up soon, set up the tripod. It looks like I've got some clouds out in the distance. There is a bit of colour really starting to come through now. Bit of mist on the mountains in front of me, which I just showed you. Yeah, look, it might be a bit of a cracker this morning, so I'll start setting up and just enjoy the morning. Sunrise is getting close, probably less than 10 minutes now. I can start to see the bright orange patch coming above the clouds with there's some sun rays coming. So I'm currently shooting off more or less towards the east, towards the mountains out here. I can see Mount Greville, Mount Maroon, Mount Barney, part of the Main Range through here. It's just beautiful. It's just misty, not too much mist. I'm shooting with my telephoto lens now, not all the way zoomed out at its maximum, but at aperture of f5.6 to get a nice long depth of field. I'm shooting some brackets. I always do. Whether I use the bracketed exposures into HDR or not, I don't know yet, but I shoot them because there's no harm in doing it. I was starting with my main exposure at 1/20th of a second, and then obviously one stop either way. I might try and actually shoot a nice panorama this morning. I love a panorama, and up here with the way the mountains are looking with the mist, I might be able to get a nice 6:17 ratio panorama. That is probably my favorite panoramic ratio. It's nice to print, it's nice to look at, it's not too long. I find panoramas can get too long sometimes, but I might pop this back into portrait orientation and see if I can get a nice pano. So the sun is about to rise above the clouds in the distance. You can't quite see it here, but there's just a really orangey pinky glow about to come over the sun. So about to come over the clouds. So I'm just about to take the shot. I've framed up with a couple of the mountains in the bottom and the cloud in the top. Here it comes, here it comes. This light is coming over. You might be able to see that on the screen. I'm going to take 3 shots as it glows. I use a custom timer when I'm doing bracketing. Perfect. Hopefully that's something good. There's the sun just creeping through the gap in the clouds now. I may as well shoot a couple more. And just a glow above the clouds. That's just beautiful. It's the first sunrise I've seen up the top of a mountain for a while, to be honest. I saw a sunrise recently when we went camping, but this is just spectacular. Hopefully, sorry my video is not perfect. I'm more focused on watching the sunrise than I am in shooting this video at the moment, but oh, it's just beautiful. So hopefully that should get a nice shot. So I might take a couple more. I'll just change my composition a little bit. Lake Mugger is just to the left. We just can't quite see it right now. That's it over there. See if I can focus. There we go, that's Lake Mugger over there. So that's a beautiful, beautiful lake. It's slowly been coming back up from well below 30 up to over 30% now after some rain, so that's good. That mountain directly to the right of it there, the one in the foreground, is Mount Greville. That's one of my favourite mountains. To the right of Mount Greville, the sort of twin peak one, is called Mount Maroon. That's a really tricky hike, but it's absolutely fantastic. The one behind it, which is hard to see with this wide angle lens, is Mount Barney. I'm yet to climb Mount Barney. That one's on the list this year, the absolute must climb list this year, so that'll probably be an overnighter. Sun is well and truly up. The best of the light is gone. There's still some nice yellow colour, some golden colour around, but I'm not going to get much looking off the mountain. But what I want to try and do this morning is I'd also want to try and get some shots in the forest as I walk back to the car, showing a lot of the fire damage and how things are starting to grow back, because it was quite eerie coming up this morning, but I obviously couldn't shoot anything, it was too dark. But I really want to try and get some shots of that. So I'm going to just have a quick bite to eat up here, drink some water, and then I'm going to head back down the track a bit and take some shots in the forest on the way back to the car. Talk to you soon. So I'm just walking back along the track, back towards the car. I've stopped several times to take photos of some of the burnt areas I've seen. It's just incredible. I mean, I could see a little bit of it at night with the headlamp on walking up, but seeing it now in daylight, it's just incredible. There's so much black and brown that used to be green. It's also incredible to see a lot of the new bright green and yellow growth as well, though. It is really, really amazing, but it's so sad to see how it is now. This forest used to be just lush all the time. I'm not sure if any of the photos I'm taking of how burnt it is and how little there is in terms of vegetation compared to usual. It just looks open and somewhat bare. I just can't believe it. But then there are also parts of the forest that just look very normal and green. I'm going to video this little next bit that I walk through. It looks normal. It's crazy how one part is so devastated by fire and then the next part is seemingly so normal. It's insane. While I'm walking, I thought I might tell you a little bit about the camera I'm using today. So it's the same camera I was using in the camping video. I don't actually own it. It's on loan from Olympus at the moment. Now, I'm not sponsored by Olympus or anything like that, but I just have a good relationship with Olympus Australia, and my friend Jack at Olympus let me borrow their flagship camera, the EM1X. So it's a little bit bigger than the camera I normally use. I usually use the EM1 Mark II, but the EM1X is just the ultimate high performance micro four thirds camera. Well, high performance camera in general, really. 20 megapixels, 18 frames per second burst shooting with full focus and exposure tracking. Probably the best weather sealing on the market. It's just a weapon. But I say it's a bit big. It's really no bigger than my EM1 Mark II would be if I had a battery grip on it. So the camera body itself weighs less than a kilogram. So for a full body style camera, it's still quite small and lightweight. They introduced a lot of cool features into it, some of which I haven't had a chance to test out so much yet. Things like live ND filters, where you don't actually need to use ND filters. It uses some really smart multiple exposure in-camera stacking to simulate up to 5 stops. It's got some autofocus tracking modes if you're into fast moving things, so motorsports, planes and trains, and they are working on more things to add to the AI tracking. Yeah, it's just a really great camera. I'm a bit sad I'm gonna have to give it back soon, but it's been amazing just using it for the last few weeks, so I just thought I'd mention that. I haven't got a new camera, although I kind of want one now after using it for a little while. I'm almost back at the car now, so I've had a really good hike up here on Mount Cordeaux in the Scenic Rim in the Main Range National Park. Thanks so much for coming along and for watching my video. I'll see you soon.